A day in our life
as materials evaluators. Evaluators?
Hi, I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Daniel.
In this talk, we will critically evaluate two language learning materials we personally encountered.
One that supported our learning and one that fell short.
Our evaluation is grounded on the principles and procedures from language and literature learning materials development, and we focus on how these materials contribute or fail to contribute to authentic and meaningful language learning. Let's begin with the best material. From Mother Tongue for Teaching and Learning Module 1, the activity titled Integrate Learning by Fina, Felisa, Alconia, and Holmes. This activity asks learners to list familiar words they often hear in their mother tongue and provide their Filipino and English translations. What makes this activity effective is how it draws directly from the learner's lived experiences. They aren't asked to memorize isolated terms, they're encouraged to reflect on their environment and apply what they hear in daily life. For example, if a student hears gatas at home, they then write gatas, milk, gatas, naturally linking sound, meaning, and context. This promotes real-world language transfer. This aligns with Principle 1. Learners should be exposed to rich, meaningful, and comprehensible input of language in use. Since words come from their home life, the input is both familiar and meaningful. It also demonstrates Principle number 3. Language input must be contextualized. The words aren't randomly selected by the teacher or a textbook. They come from the learner's actual communicative settings like home conversations, family routines, and neighborhood interactions. This makes the activity highly relevant and culturally responsive. Another key strength is that it supports multiple learning styles. First, auditory learners. It recalls how words sound. Second, visual learners. It organizes them in a table. And third, experiential learners. It reflects on language through real-life use. It also satisfies Principle number 6, which emphasizes activities that allow learners to personally respond to what they are learning. This activity encourages students to draw from personal memory and identity.
Now let's discuss the material we found least effective. It is from Easy Linguistics Phonetic Transcription by Dr. Renalyn B. Pantawi.
This activity asks students to convert phonetic transcriptions into their English equivalents, like turning this one into this one. On paper, it seems useful, but in practice, it becomes problematic. Why? Because phonetics is meant to teach pronunciation and oral fluency, skills that rely heavily on listening and speaking. Yet the activity is entirely written. There is no audio, no vocal practice, and no feedback. It contradicts its communicative aim.
This clearly violates Principle 13. Materials should provide many opportunities for learners to produce language to achieve outcomes. Here, students are not speaking at all. They are simply decoding symbols in silence. It's passive and mechanical. Principle 4 also emphasizes the importance of using language for communicative purposes. This activity offers no authentic interactions. Students aren't told to say the phrases aloud, use them in dialogue, or respond to a speaker. It feels like a puzzle, not a speaking task. The material also lacked contextualization, violating Principle number 3. For example, when the students say this, but there's no scenario, they would ask, who is speaking, to whom, and why. Without context, the phrase is disconnected from real language use. This also fails to create impact. There's no novelty, no variety, and no sense of achievable challenge. Students don't learn anything beyond symbol to word matching. It is cognitively dry, emotionally disengaging, and ultimately demotivating. So what could improve this? Adding recorded audio to the students to hear each transcription, followed by pronunciation practice, peer repetition, and role-playing exercises That would make it multisensory and interactive, thus more aligned with fluency goals.
When we compare both materials side by side, the difference becomes immediately clear, not only in format, but in purpose, approach, and learner experience.
The Integrate learning activity respects the learner's background and leverages their prior knowledge.
This activity allows the learner to hear the language implicitly, reflect on it, and then express understanding explicitly.
In contrast, the phonetic transcription task bypasses listening, speaking, and social context, which are essential for all our language development. It assumes that learners can grasp phonological patterns without hearing or practicing them aloud, a violation of Principle 2, which says learners benefits from noticing salient features of input.
This comparison shows that materials should honor the learner's context and provide opportunities to produce language-led, deeper, more lasting learning outcomes.
Based on our evaluation, we highly recommend Integrate learning activities to teachers of lower or intermediate language levels. It is cost-effective, easy to implement, and culturally adaptive, especially in a multilingual settings like the Philippines.
As for the phonetic transcription activity, we suggest working. For example, begin with audio samples, then repeat them aloud, either solo or with partner. Then provide interactive tasks, reinforce the target sounds.
Lastly, include students in material reflection. Let them share what works and what doesn't. Their insight will help create a more effective and responsive classroom.
Thank you for joining us here in this in-depth evaluation. Through this experience, we've learned that language learning goes beyond materials, as good material empowers students.
And when these principles are considered, they transform learning into a more authentic, efficient, and effective. Thank you, and may your journey in language learning
Be meaningful
transformative
And
and truly learner-centered.